In today's video, we're going to talk about Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, the Flash movie, because that movie is very important going forward in the DC movie universe, even though James Gunn always contradicts himself and is like, yeah, but actually the new DCU doesn't actually start till Superman and Legacy, but it kickstarts in the Flash. Why does James keep literally contradicting himself all the time? And also talk about Flash stuff, also maybe talk about the Flash Season 9 ending, because that's going to be fire. Also, James Gunn has put himself in the firing line with the SNYDERVERSE fans and all DC fans again. And we're going to go over much, much more. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube boys? You here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, pop culture-based content that we cover on a daily basis. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe and let me know everything down below. Are you going to go watch the happy-go-lucky movie that is Shazam, Fury of the Gods? To be fair, Shazam 1 was pretty cool in my opinion. So, also if you could, check us out on Instagram at OSG to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also check us out on Twitter, OSG. Right, let's get into this video. So, this coming week, it is the premiere for Shazam Fury of the Gods in the UK. They're currently on their press tour around the world. And then the movie comes out in the middle of March. So, Shazam 2 is projected to be one of DC's lowest opening weekends ever. 40 million domestically in America is very low. So, the marketing for Shazam Fury of the Gods, they've done it again. They really have done it again. They've literally shown you all the best parts and the cameos in a trailer. Already, well, an international trailer at least, which confirms the plot leak from over a year ago is literally true because you can see it in the trailer. Well, Stu, play it right now. So, Shazam Fury of the Gods writer Chris Morgan teases the cameos in the film. Now, this is controversial. You know what would be amazing? What if we pay off that thing that was set up in the first movie? The Superman from the neck down. Oh, here, you do the same thing, but they actually pull up. So it's no mystery, I've known this for the longest time, that Gal Gadot Wonder Woman appears in the movie. And it's not just in a tongue-in-cheek cameo role. She's actually properly in the movie and has most definitely got one of the most important scenes in the movie because what she does in the movie, and they've already ruined it in multiple trailers. But the interesting thing is, they're not really playing on that. But what's more interesting is David S. Sandberg, very nice guy. I had a brief conversation with him at the UK Shazam premiere a few years back. He said there's nothing in this movie that would stop Shazam progressing past Shazam 2, meaning there's nothing in this movie that doesn't co-align with the new vision for the DCU. So is he confirming that Gal Gadot is still Wonder Woman? Because she's pinnacle in this movie in a massive way. Now, this little post caused a bit of controversy because people are like, no, they're not on about Henry Cavill Superman, who's literally just donated $1 million to the incident that happened in Turkey. He shot a movie a few years back there. He's like literally he's literally like Superman in real life. Donate the $1 million just because he can. You don't really see any of the actors, and he didn't really post it anywhere. It's fan pages that have been posting it. So we got a headless post-credit scene in the canteen. They are really baiting you, really trying to bait you in here into thinking Superman could be in this movie. Well, if he is, then literally no industry Twitter super duper scooper has picked up on this story at all because David S. Sandberg said there's nothing in this movie that doesn't align with the new vision for the new DCEU that's helmed by David Zaslav. I don't care what anyone says, he's essentially in charge of it still. Pete Safran, business side, kind of producer side, and then James Gunn, sadly, the creative. I actually really like James Gunn, but I just don't know how he's going to do in this position. So, they're on about Gal Gadot pulling up properly, but I don't understand. I don't know if this is a direct quote. I mean, it's hard to take what quotes appear on Twitter at face value. So, careful for spoilers, I'm going to ruin your life. So, there's a scene in the trailer, the international trailer, where Shazam has sacrificed himself and died. So, because both of the sisters are dead, Rachel's character comes back to the scene, and they decide to take him to the kingdom. So they take him to their planet, bury him outside the throne room in this little garden with a tree and the staff on top of it. It's a very heartbreaking scene, if you like. Meant to be taken very seriously because Shazam is actually dead. He sacrificed himself to win. Very similar to BVS. So just then, Gal Gadot, that's right, Gal Gadot. We've seen her in multiple TV spots already. So here's the punchline. Wonder Woman shows up in this movie. Remember earlier in the script, I mean, I will go over it at some point before the movie comes out if you want. She's actually in the movie properly. So the real Gal Gadot shows up here. She takes the staff Remember, she's a demigod, kind of. The two halves of it, mends it back together with her godly powers. She uses it to bring Billy Batson and Shazam back. So basically the scene where he dies, it's very sad and it's not played up for gags. But when he comes back, it is played for gags. Not necessarily too much, but it's like a heart-wrenching moment because it comes back to life. But it's also like very fast. Like, you know, it's a, hey, how I fix this, boom, done. You know what I mean kind of moment. So yeah, that's pretty much a big spoiler of the movie that Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, brings back Shazam from the dead. And you can pretty much see this or make out most of this, which again reaffirms plot leak is real. I've also done a plot leak video sometime 6-7 months ago, but we will do another one before the movie comes out if you want. So that's it for Shazam 2. Wonder Woman's in the movie. Don't expect Superman in it, but I guess he could be, but that doesn't really realign with the future of what they want for the DCU. So, also in the news, they're really going ham with the marketing for the Flash movie. The Funko Pops have leaked. There is a Dark Flash. Now, I really don't understand and comprehend why they just didn't go down the Barthorne Reverse Flash route. Dark Flash, which looks like it's going to be some variation of the CW version, if you like, in order to make a comparison of Zoom, Savitar, and I guess like more precisely the Black Flash, I guess you could say, in based on the confirmed information about the movie, which we all know is real. It does appear like the Dark Flash is essentially going to be the Black Flash in terms of comic book logic, I guess you could say. And then we get an Iris West Funko, or Batman Funko that looks like Keaton, and a Barry Allen Funko that's got knee pads on, which is kind of odd. But yeah, the closest the movie we'll get more promotional material. Then we get this that reaffirms the scene is real, and it's kind of like a Justice League scene in the movie, I guess you could say. The Flash Funko Pop with the Flash saving babies. I really can't believe this scene is real. Not only that, it's a Funko Pop which confirms the whole Justice League scene-ish in the movie, which is cool for affirmation and confirmation in a roundabout way, I guess you could say. But out of all the things I didn't want to be real, they actually have made a Funko Pop for the Flash saving babies. Yeah, I didn't want this scene to be real either, but it is. So, also in the news, James Gunn is at it again. And I can see where he's coming from, but factually, it is like he's backtracking. So, basically what happened was someone came out to try and expose James Gunn. So, a long story short is James Gunn publicly said a few years ago he didn't want to do Superman, and all of a sudden he decides to change his mind, and he's being called out for being a liar and not being truthful, and he comes out and says this: for years it's been my commitment to the fans that I will never lie to them, and I never have. I'd be very curious about what it is you think I lied about. And then he came back with this: neither of those were lies. I was offered Superman, but did Suicide Squad instead. It's worth saying, I really like the Suicide Squad movie. If you go on my Instagram, you can see I do rate it quite highly. A few years later, I saw how to tackle Superman and took it on. I didn't want to be the sole CEO of DC, but when they came and offered it to me and Peter, I said yes, but I could focus on the creative side. Now, the bad part here is he kind of disregards the fact where he says, I didn't see a way I could do the Superman storyline without getting a lot of hate. So that's the reason the first time round why he said he didn't want to do the Superman movie was because of the backlash of the Snyderverse fans. And then he does like a flip 180 and decides he wants to do the Superman movie that he did before he was on board for obviously being the CEO. But the most interesting thing is here is, yes, I guess he does have a good track record at I mean, does he though? I don't know. Because box office wise, yeah, I guess the Guardians did well. But the Suicide Squad movie absolutely bombed at the box office. And I know exactly what people are going to say, but it came out at the wrong time in the world. No, Godzilla vs. Kong smashed that movie. And that came out 2021, even more in the situation in the world. So you can't really say day and day release on HBO Max because Godzilla vs. Kong was also day in release, and it still got just under $500 million. So how he got the CEO role and is getting to write the Superman Legacy movie and probably will direct it with someone else, maybe, is beyond me. Now, I do think he's very good when it comes to writing movies, for sure. I think Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was a massive miss, but number 1 was good, Peacemaker was good, Suicide Squad was good. So overall, I do think he has a good track record. Now, Here is where he made the fatal mistake, the fatal KO. He KO'd himself with this answer. Like, how is he trying to hype people or give people hope? Again, I've never once lied to the fans and never will. But this line here has had everyone going, Snyderverse confirmed. Snyderverse getting sold to Netflix. Right, let's continue to read this quote. That doesn't mean I'm never going to change my mind about anything. So let's read it in one go. Again, I've never once lied to the fans, and I never will. That doesn't mean I'm never going to change my mind about anything. So, then we go back to Shazam 2. So, Wonder Woman's in this movie, okay? David S. Sandberg said everything moving forward can still move forward based on this movie and based on who's in it. Cool. So it seems to me that if he really wanted to change his mind about Henry Cavill's Superman returning to DC Universe one day, he could. And if he and Pete Safran wanted to bring Justice League 2 and 3 with Zack Snyder to an Elseworld storyline, he could. So this is a good quote and a bad quote because it's going to set off the Snyderverse fanboys and be like, yeah, that means the Snyderverse is restored. And you can see the replies, if we have an Elseworld, then why not continue and finish the Snyderverse then? And you're going to get lots of comments like that now because he can change his mind. Like anyone can change his mind. But did he actually have to come out and say it? Because now this is more fuel to the fire that Netflix is going to buy the Snyderverse or license them out. But like I said before in another video, it does not matter. It won't happen because Netflix would have to pay a couple $100 million to license out the characters. Then also a couple $100 million to produce the movie, etc. Netflix does not make money back on merchandise like studios do. That is where Disney makes up a lot of money. For example, Disney makes more money from Spider-Man merchandise than they do from any movie. Well, pretty much 90% of their movies. So where studios can make money back is via merchandise, via other things. Now, Netflix can't do this because they're just a streaming service. So to try and alliterate this to people that don't understand how the business works, streaming services cannot sell merchandise. So they can't make their money back any other way other than people subscribing to stuff. So I hate to keep telling you this. The only way the blueprint to the Snyderverse getting restored and you get it in your Justice League 2 and 3 with Zack Snyder, the blueprint is James Gunn and Pete Safran. If it's ever going to work, it has to be with them two. Now, yes, I do see a bunch of videos floating around that you tag me in. I mean, I don't even know. I get tagged in TikTok, even though I have a TikTok, but I don't use it. It's just there, so I've got the handle. But it realistically doesn't matter what anyone says. They're not going to license out the IPs they own because the Snyderverse characters are still there in an Elseworld story, or if they want to pick it up at a later date. So also in the news. Right, we're going to talk spoilers about The Flash Season 9. So, Red Death has been introduced, and they actually said, I am vengeance. Female Batman said, I am vengeance. Also said, do you want to get nuts? So the finale, this is actually a spoiler. So the finale for Flash Season 9, it's looking like Godspeed will be involved. It's looking like Eddie Thawne will be Cobalt Blue. It's looking like we're going to have a negative Speed Force Savitar because Savitar was blue when we had him, but he seems to be red this time round. And it looks like we are getting Reverse Flash as well, but the mask wasn't off, so I don't look that closely into it, but it's the last season of the real Flash show. So I've started to watch it, so it's looking pretty cool. So Godspeed, Reverse Flash, Savitar, Zoom, Cobalt Blue with Eddie Thawne. It's going to be freaking fire to what they're setting up. Really is cool. And I really hope the rumor of Grant Gusting appearing in the Flash movie, I really, really hope it is true. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. And also, if you could, check us out on Twitter, WarStewG, because I post stuff there. And it's the easiest way to get in touch with me. And I will always respond to DMs, etc. if you are respectful. So like always, guys, let me know, what are you most looking forward to in the extended future of the DC universe? Are you one of these people that think Netflix can buy the Snyderverse characters? I'm not saying they can't, but it won't physically happen. So, like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at WarStew to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. Check us out on Twitter at WarStewG. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.